All right, Go Hard Ezreal, or Go Easy, as I've referred to it as, leverages the 2 cards in its name. So we got Go Hard here, drain 1 from a unit, and then shuffle 2 copies of me into your deck. Once you've cast me 3 times, transform copies everywhere into Pack Your Bags. And then Pack Your Bags here, deal 5 damage to all enemies in the enemy nexus, transform copies of me everywhere into Go Hard. So what this deck is looking to do is looking to be interactive with things like Go Hard, Thermo Beam, Mystic Shot, Vile Feast, Vengeance to stay alive. And then eventually we either loop through our deck, telling our opponent to pack their bags and burning them out, or we utilize Ezreal, our primary champion here, his leveled node, to deal damage to the enemy nexus as we're just doing things that we want to be doing anyways, which is targeting their stuff. So, because we want to find multiple copies of Go Hard very quickly, we have lots of draw engines in this deck. We've got Rummage, Zonite Urchin, Glimpse Beyond, as well as Progress Day here at the very top end of our curve to draw a whole bunch of cards so we can find our 4th copy of Pack Your Bags very, very quickly. So this is one that I've enjoyed in the past. Let's go ahead and dive into some games here with it today and see how it feels. Leona Yasuo. Yep. Is this a matchup where Go Hard is likely to be good? Probably not. Let me keep one of these Elises. We're attacking on evens, which is nice.
Ours is the one true light. Devotion through battle.
Well, and what Precipic saying in chat, one of the best parts about Runeterra and the way they balance their game is an idea that people really have to break in mindsets coming from other games, are that in a lot of other card games, they're poorly balanced, so there's always 3, 4, 5 decks in these other games where if you're not playing that subset of decks, you're putting yourself at a competitive disadvantage. And Runeterra does such a good job not only nerfing things that are too strong, but buffing up things that are a little bit weak, that it's tough for a lot of people to get to this idea that like, oh, I can just play the cards that I like, and that's optimal, because there's a huge range of things you can play that are competitive.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
We're just gonna go ahead and Static Shock these 2. Yeah, I also think that a lot of people tend to underestimate how valuable it is to be playing decks that you like from the perspective of you'll play better with decks that you enjoy. Because games are something you should play for fun, and if playing your game feels like a chore, you're probably going to do worse at it. You've got Vengeance here rolled up for, their what's it called? Their champion that they're about to play. I think I'm going to go ahead and Rummage here so I don't burn that mana. We'll bank this spell mana this turn so we can Vengeance their champion next turn. Yeah, and that the other thing too is like there's nothing wrong with enjoying decks that are good, right? There's plenty of decks that are fine in the format. Never let anybody that tries to make you feel bad because of the deck type that you enjoy, they're probably just not someone worth listening to. So they can't hush before your Battle Fury resolves, but they can they can't hush before your Battle Fury resolves, but they can hush before they take damage. So, burst spells don't go on the stack in the middle to respond to, but your opponent does get a chance to do things before damage happens. So, I have so many expensive cards in my hand here, I think I'm actually just going to Thermo Beam this with the Vengeance rolled up. This might be a little aggressive. Getting them low has value. Should I draw, like, Ezreal, though? This also means I get to attack in like this, and then if I Vile Feast anything that they play out here, I'll get to level Elise, which is nice. Well, I mean, and not even just comparing to paper card games where all they can do is ban. Runeterra, in my experience, makes weak cards stronger far more often than most other card games use that as a tool. A lot of other digital card games don't rebalance up nearly as often as Runeterra does, in my experience. Now, the opponent's archetype does tend to play Bastion and Deny. That being said, with these other cards in my hand, if my opponent has a Bastion in response to my Vengeance, I can Vile Feast in response to that still and get through. Someone in chat said Battle Fury is comparable to Embercleave, and I like that comparison. I actually think that comparison's kind of bad, Precipic, because the reason why Embercleave is good is because it remains a threat after you kill the unit it's attached to. Embercleave is a big part of what made me finally stop playing Magic the Gathering. The card is really not fun to play against. Invalidates combat as a mechanic.
All unbelievers will see the light.
Yeah, generally costs 2 to 3 mana and gives things trample. What's Embercleave? It's a really messed up card in Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering's had a lot of messed up cards in its recent designs, though. So this dies to Mystic Shot now, which is nice. Wouldn't it have been better to not drag the Solari Soldier there? Why? Can you explain? Instead of me telling you you're wrong, can you tell me why you're right? Why is it better to not drag the Solari Soldier there?
Chosen of the sun.
Maybe my 100-month resub will play board games again. Here's hoping long before then, Philly. Thanks for the 55 months. Welcome back. I agree with that, Hoosier. Runeterra as a game reminds me of all the things I loved about card games. Which is, the board-centric part of it is a big part of that.
Behold the sun's holy light.
55 months is quite the sub streak.
Check me out. Time for a true display of skill.
My faith protects me.
Are they dead? It says 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just try and kill them in response here, right?
I know you're thinking and stuff, but could you maybe speed things up a little?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They do play Guiding Touch and Nopify.
Sure.
It's fine, it's fine. They could have had it and we just still killed them. And that game, I feel like, really highlights why I like, and I'm gonna prefix this with, I know the Twisted Fate Go Hard deck is very good and reasonable, but from a personal play preference perspective, I prefer this deck to the Twisted Fate Go Hard deck because I feel like this deck is a little bit stronger when it's not finding Go Hard. The Twisted Fate variation feels pretty all in on telling them to pack their bags. And this deck is not all in on that strategy. Ezreal, I agree. The where Ezreal's design has landed is very, very good. He is a very sweet mid-range control card, whereas before he was just a combo tool. I'm mulligan Glimpse here. I think I'm keeping the rest of these though. Do I play Glimpse? Well, I literally just mulliganed a copy of Glimpse, so I'm gonna go with yes. As always, remember the deck list is on your screen via the widget. If you're on mobile, you can also type !deck in chat to get a direct link to the deck list.
I thought you'd never ask.
Got a surprise for him.
Favorite board and pet. Tis the season. I really like the Christmas board right now. I think the Butterfly is probably my favorite pet, or Gromp. Butterfly or this Gromp. I like this Gromp a lot.
One shot, all skill.
I call Glimpse Snackrifice. That's such a good name. I would like to pop your keg in response.
Sure.
I think this matchup's pretty okay for us. A big reason why it's decent is because this card doesn't really bother us because we have so much cheap removal for it. And I actually think this is an instance where... Do I Thermo Beam this, or do I Mystic Shot it? I think I beam it. I think I beam it because of the in terms of resource efficiency for later.
No way.
This being able to go to their dome later is also good, and it being fast is nice. Yeah, I agree. I think I'd rather have Mystic Shots this matchup too. Zane Gardner and Shinshru, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel, folks.
need more hands.
I haven't felt like I've needed Ledros's closing power Precipic. I could see someone playing this deck more and coming to that conclusion though. We play a lot of different decks here on stream, so I only have like, you know, a dozen. Even this deck that's like one of my favorites that I've played a lot of, I've only logged like a dozen hours with.
The world's a big
Wait, I'm playing. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Started playing Runeterra after Discard. Wanted to see your videos and streams have been fun and helpful. Hey, well, welcome. Runeterra is definitely my favorite card game at the moment. Does a lot of things very right.
Hold it, partner.
Or Ezreal. I believe it says YouTube in the command, Claire. Ezreal is at 4, so if they go to ping him for 1 here, I can level him at least. So they need another. This is their second copy of this. Yep.
firing. They don't know what they're up against.
And then I do conveniently have my third Ezreal here in hand. It links to the. I ran out of characters. It links to my Twitter, which mentions YouTube. Is Jury Rig better than Chump Wump? I think so. I don't think I can play. It's just Chump Wump's so expensive. In these grindy games, let me rephrase. In these grindy games, Chump Wump would be better. In the aggressive matchups, it would be worse. Jury Rig also. I don't think the fearsome matchup is bad for a Precipic. I have so much cheap removal. Yeah, the burst speed on it has been very good for me too. I'm supposed to glimpse there, I think. I think that was wrong. Was that a good draw?
I don't miss.
If so, why? Please explain. Yeah, our curve is pretty tall, as is. Remember, I'm trying to play 3 copies of Progress Day and 3 Vengeance, so having more lower curve stuff's important. Oh, order. Yeah, I missed 2 points of damage.
Come close.
I was testing you, chat, and you passed.
Bite.
Or this matchup's so good for us, my opponent needed a handicap, whichever you'd prefer.
We playing bilge rules, son?
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
All right, if they live at 2, we could have won.
For silver I talk.
For gold, I listen.
Where do you stand on cold shots?
I believe there are 2 go hards off of a pack your bags, which means our open attacks next turn should be pretty good. How do we feel about Jury Rig into Glimpse this turn? I think I'm kind of into it. Spend some mana, get some damage going. Yeah, it is Precipic. Big agree. I'm gonna pass here.
One shot, all skill.
You want me to cycle the Vengeance? I guess they're not playing Gangplank. No, I think you're right. Yeah, I should cycle it because they're not playing Gangplank. On the other side, they're gonna tell us to pack our bags here soon. How close to dead are they? I mean, we might still ditch this Vengeance to this. I just try and lethal them in response, right? Why isn't it lethal? Yeah, this is 3, 3, and 1, right?
I know you're thinking and stuff, but could you maybe speed things up a little?
And the eye can confirm here. Sometimes they have quick speed healing, but even if they do have quick speed healing here, we're not dead to open attack, so I think we definitely just take this.
No way.
So young.
They just lost a fleeting pack your bags there, chat. I think our play was fine.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
We are out of Ezreal's. Yeah, we're looking for a pack of our own at this point. Is 100% we're looking for.
Bounty Bowl knows me name.
Sun rock got me good.
Nothing like the stink of blood and sweat.
That might be wrong. It might be right to not. Like, my health total doesn't really matter. That's probably wrong. I'm probably supposed to hold the jury rig for after progress day. And just take an extra 2 here. Yes, it would only matter if we were going to 5 or less, and we weren't, so I think I should have taken that.
Don't know much, do ya?
Anything helps.
Yeah, I think I should have kept the rummage. We might still win anyways, but I think I made a mistake. That is an aggressive pack your bags, chat. That's gotta be wrong.
I pull the strings. You won't suffer long.
Say your farewells.
Like a fish in
Indeed. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Wait, were they? They were already at 3, right? Did they not take 2? What happened there? Wait, no, they just went up to 4. Is their health tree wrong? Are they at 2 or are they at 4? They should be at 2, right? I thought I was going crazy there for a second. Yeah, someone go back and clip that, please. Poggers Day!
Gotta go with the flow.
That wasn't so bad. now.
So, like, that game is a good example of why I'm not playing Ledros in this deck. That game played out very similarly to how this matchup's played out with my experience in the past, which is that we have plenty of answers to their twisted fates, and we don't depend on going wide on board, so the opponent telling us to pack the bags isn't a big deal. And even though we got through all of our Ezreals, by the time they got through them, they were low enough that pack your bags could send it home. And often they don't kill all of your Ezreals. Bill Allman, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. We actually don't know if it was a visual bug, because I dealt 5 at the end there. Leona Diana. I'm gonna mulligan the static shock, keep the rest of these, I think. I have no idea. I saw something like that on Grappler's stream. It was visual. It was visual at the end. Yeah, I mean, if they're playing a build that's just greedier than you, BJ Roth, like, you're not gonna beat people sometimes that like are super teched for like the pseudo mirror, is what it comes down to. I don't have anything I want to discard at the moment. I think we're just holding on to Zonite Urchin. We're gonna play out another 1/1 though.
Where are you?
Lady Elise, where are you?
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
We're just passing here and burning a mana.
Witness glory.
Please, I have connections.
Ranzini, thanks for the follow. Now we'll go ahead and do this. One of the things that's important to do with this deck that you'll note in like this game and the previous game we just played is that these early chip shots tend to be important. These early chip shots that we're getting in mean that once we get Ezreal down and leveled, he can close the game out much more quickly than he otherwise would completely on his own if they were starting at 20. Again, I don't think I want the damage enough to discard any of these cards out of my hand I have at the moment. I don't think it's worth deploying Elise here, because if I play Elise, they could just play Leona and stun her, and then I don't have good attacks anymore.
The mountain speaks to those who listen.
I'd follow you anywhere.
Of course you would.
Yeah, definitely press big. Finding the right card is more important than having more cards. Also, you know, a lot of Runeterra games are ended while one or both players still have a bunch of cards in their hand because both players are drawing so many cards in Runeterra every turn. Like, you basically draw twice as many cards in Runeterra as you do in a lot of other games. Kill the 1/1 to level Elise. Nah, that's way too aggressive.
Siblings once were inseparable.
Poggers Day. Hey, thanks for the 3 months, Reddish. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm gonna kill their lifelinker, keep their health total low here. Blocking to level Elise is an interesting thought. I didn't think about that. Maybe. I kind of like running Elise into this though, to just like kill it with the Mystic Shot, and then we like bank 4 spell mana and Poggers Day next turn. I'm gonna Mystic Shot this now so that way they can't heal it with Healing Touch. So that is our first go hard. So a question I have to ask myself here is, am I interested in drawing more go hards right now? I think the answer to that question is yes. So I'm going to cast this before I play Progress Day. They played Unspeakable Horrors. I assume it's like Unspeakable Horrors and Doom Beast is their splash. Would be my guess. What's that noise?
By the moon's crescent blade.
I think there's a good Soraka plus Acel build. Probably not.
Get me out of here.
Those two don't really have particularly good synergy together. Ezreal not quite ready to level yet, but getting close. Is worth noting. Hush is a card I need to think about out of them. Well, that'll do pig.
My faith protects me.
They don't know what they're up against. The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
To shine like the sun, you must burn like it. First light illuminates the light. Behold the sun's holy light.
I think we just pass here and then plan to open Pogger's Day into telling them to pack their bags, I believe we're ready for. Not quite yet. Need one more. Sad. That's fine. We get to do this here, and then we can Pogger's Day, and then this will die to pack your bags as well. Hey, Sigan, thank you for the 2 months of Prime support. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Even if the opponent wants to open attacks here, they don't really have great open attacks. So I've got plenty of blockers. Lots of our bodies here are great.
The mountain changes.
What's the win count of the opponent's deck? Just units. We have plenty of units here in play. What's up, dude? Mommy needs a pack of wipes. They're in the storage room, bud. Can you not find them? You need help? Alright, hold on 1 second. Come with me. Thank you for entertaining the stream. I love you. Oh, Jacob, you are wonderful. Put all of your stuff in a box. I'm throwing it over the balcony. Get it gone. Pack it up. If we submit a deck, can we pick the board it gets played on? Sure. Just put it in the comments. Assuming it's, I have most of the boards. Assuming it's a board I have, that's fine. I think our opponent might have disconnected, chat.
I don't miss.
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in and you constantly taste the salt.
And Ezreal is victorious! Oh, yeah!
It's an A plus clip, chat. It's an A plus clip. Sarah Pooh Bear, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Easy, like his name, chat. Don't worry, Jeff. Timo Gems is coming up, and it's going to send you straight back to the Diamond 4 rank floor. My boy Timo wouldn't do that to me, press a pick. Timo's got my back. He knows what's up. BRK, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yasuo Swain. think I'm definitely mulliganing these. Do I keep 2 go hards to get to an early pack your bags? That's probably fine. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Sun rock got me good.
Look at this mad value we've got on board, chat. Yeah, Yasuo Swain's like Grixis mid-range.
I go where the road takes me.
Where the road takes me.
Some things never die.
They could have like a Death's Hand here. Or an Noxian Fervor. They're not going to Fervor their Yasuo though. Death's Hand I think is the card that kind of punishes us here. Steel Tempest only does attacking units. Concussive Palm costs 3. Nopify here is also fine, I think. What are the main characteristics of a Grixis deck? People play it even though it's not good.
Fear the power you do not see.
Think I'd rather kill Swain than Yasuo here. We're gonna slowly whittle down this Yasuo with Gohard's chat. Hey, I think that matchup's fine, Night Stars, because of the ton of removal.
One blade, one purpose.
We're hoping to dodge a second Swain here.
Master your demons.
Had to open my mouth, didn't I? Does Yaswain play Nopify / Deny? They do. We've gotten Nopified already this game, in fact. But it's worth noting. It's worth noting that nah, I'm just gonna take a hit from Swain. That's fine. It's worth noting that like those cards that basically counter these don't really do a whole lot. because the next one is still just a pack your bags. As I point to Exhibit A.
I know what lurks in the shadows. We could use a bite.
I think I just take this pass and then vengeance this, right? Yeah. I think I take the pass and then vengeance when they open attacks.
Bench or perish.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
And now I think I'm gonna pack your bags. So that way Vile Feast can kill this. I assume we're gonna get notified or denied here. Really?
Should have sagged. A tribute to the Spire God.
I mean, they always want Leviathan, right? Honestly, it might be right to wait to Progress Day after I go hard twice. I think I tell Elise to get blocked here.
Lady Elise?
Where are you?
A pretty present you'll make.
I'm so good, I surprised myself. Don't blink, or you'll miss me.
There's a reason behind rummaging now. Yeah, maybe you're right. There's no reason not to wait. I think you're right. There's no reason not to wait.
Now we feast.
Now we feast. Let's go hard. Still make copies of Glimpse Response. It does, Zurian. Unlike in Magic, where a spell gets countered if it loses all its targets, that doesn't happen in Runeterra. How much upfront do you need to shell in Runeterra to be mildly competitive? If you want to spend 0 time grinding and you want to just buy a tier 1 competitive deck, you can buy a tier 1 competitive deck for less than 20 bucks for some of the cheaper options, and the most expensive options are about 30 bucks. I'm gonna mulligan Hapless Aristocrat against the Fiora Shen deck. I'm mulligan the Vile Feast too for a similar reason, I think. I'm gonna keep Ezreal and go hard.
These woods protect their own.
Lady Elise? Where are you?
Who goes there?
Yeah, with no budget concerns, you can build basically any stock tiered deck for 30 bucks. If you limit yourself in which tiered decks you want to look into, like if you build a deck that specifically plays champions that you get for free to start, it's much cheaper. Also, for the people in chat that are saying literally nothing, you need to understand that there's a lot of people that don't enjoy free-to-play grinding. I understand that Runeterra's free-to-play is very generous, and that's accurate, but there are some people that don't want to play Limited, they don't want to play Expedition, they don't want to play with bad decks, they want to just jump right in. And there's nothing wrong with doing either of those. Look to the north, thanks for the follow, welcome to the channel. It isn't Precipic. You don't get Kalista for free. You get Elise for free, you don't get Kalista.
Watch and learn.
Savage me with Sharp Sight, mama.
Nailed it.
The balance requires a watchful eye.
No Sharp Sight is big game.
Everything I've worked for.
Yeah, I think if you're someone who only wants to play Constructed and you don't mind spending a little bit of money, for like $50, you'll be able to build 2 to 3 different decks, which will give you a good range of play patterns. And then just playing with those 2 to 3 decks, you'll very reasonably have a pretty full collection over the course of a month or two. So that's what I did when I started. I bought a couple of decks, and then I expanded my collection a little bit faster than most people would because I was picking up stuff for content, but yeah, that's basically it. Compared to other games, you'll be surprised how quickly you'll incidentally just tap stuff. They're about to murder my Ezreal, chat. I have another Ezreal. Yes, honestly, that's a great way to put it. Basically, for the cost of, like, this is a AAA video game. For the cost of a AAA game, you will get a full collection in Runeterra. Hey, Dr. Croak, Korvac, thanks for the follow, or thanks for the sub gifting. Blah, blah, blah. Getting programmed to say specific things.
Don't blink.
Well, they didn't have a Sharp Sight earlier, so maybe they won't have Sharp Sight again.
One shot, all skill. No way.
Been a long path to get here.
All right, chat. If we're really lucky, we can pack their bags this turn. I think I'm going to be really aggressive here trying to find the pack the bags. There are 6 pack the bags and 35 cards. I'm going to go ahead and Zonite twice here, potentially.
Got me good.
And then I assume they're opening attacks here.
I sense an imbalance.
I guess they can have Deny and Nopify. If they have Deny or Nopify, they could justify not opening attacks. Yeah, I actually kind of like hooking nothing here. Oh, interesting. Okay. These are fearsome, so I cannot block them currently.
Come closer. I don't bite.
Vortex, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I technically gave them one extra card to deny here. Might have been right to just end on this. The upside to starting on this is they couldn't use their 7 mana last turn to deploy more units after I do it. This tank here feels like no counter spell, but maybe they have like a barrier and they're trying to decide who they want to save. Because if they have a deny or an open fight, they just slam it. Because of single combat. They have single combat and concerted strike. So killing their board before I deploy my Ezreal is definitely better. Because my Ezreal is very important. I want him to live.
Our will's alive.
This was very well played on my opponent's part. So they save 2 of their things now here with their sequencing on these barriers. Very, very, very good sequencing. Ezreal might drag us kicking and screaming across the finish line here still. Do I want to attack with Elise? I feel like I'm just attacking with Ezreal.
I don't miss.
It's a lot of damage I push, though.
Anything helps.
I could do this to push extra damage, too. Yeah, I have another Elise in hand. I'm going to be aggressive here.
Suffer long.
I'm ready for them to finally have Sharp Sight. Yep.
Fall by my sword. I pull the strings.
Firing.
Alright, Mystic Shots are lethal. Mystic Shots and Poggers Day, chance. Those are what we're looking for. Oh, no! Oh, no! We're dead to another threat here.
They would fall.
Really close game.
Stay away from my pet.
Maybe I'm supposed to hold the Elise in my hand? Yeah, I think, oh wow, are they hooking Ezreal? Okay, yeah, I mean, they could have pushed for lethal here, and they didn't. Am I supposed to block this? I feel like I'm not, right? Yeah, I think they're supposed to try and kill us, yeah.
Push goes the spider.
I think I should have held. I think I should have held the Elise there to be able to play it out with one of my filtering cards. I think that was a mistake. Were they playing around by hooking? Vengeance? Yeah, a piece of removal. You cannot time yourself out. The only person that can time out moderators on a channel is the channel owner. Whenever you see a mod get timed out, that means I did it. I should probably keep Glimpse here, because it's good at keeping Kench from eating things. I'm gonna keep the Vengeance for killing Kench. Right on time, Elise. Welcome to the party.
Time for a true display of skill. Stop bragging if you can back it up. Can't stop me.
I'm gonna start on attacking with Ezreal here, because this way if they play Kench post-combat, I can Vengeance him.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
I'll scrutinize something scrumptious.
Firing.
Hitting that gives this a point, but it also works towards this.
Something for my
Way on that.
tastes.
Hey, thanks for the Prime support, Rudy. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Yeah, I agree. Bastion me, baby. To a degree. So, like, down the line, I can set up Vengeance plus Mystic Shot. Okay, everything worked out better than expected.
I make shepherding look easy.
This is one of the matchups where having 3 copies of Vengeance is really good. For sure.
All skills.
Another path, another problem.
Well, I mean, they didn't have Bastion last turn, right? So did they draw it in 2 cards? Bye, friend.
Let me guide you.
You want a Thermo for 0 to try and level Ezreal? I think that's a little bit much. All of the 7-mana Doomblades are belong to us. So this gets shielded here. Sunblessed Figure too, sure. So they're going to get to draw a card at the end of turn with this. This is also going to get to trigger.
You leave me no choice.
Have a Pale Cascade here to kill Ezreal. Maybe I shouldn't have been greedy and I should have just Vengeance this. That could cost me the game. Yeah, I think maybe I should have just Vengeance this. And not given them the out that they had there. Because now they've got card advantage going.
Hush now.
Also give them a bunch of healing on the Star Spring.
Go no further.
So young.
Half Mystic, thanks for the follow.
I will find goodness in you, River King.
Hope only provides temporary sustenance, child.
I think I go for Beam here because then next turn I have 9 mana and I can Vengeance plus Mystic Shot. I mean, I agree that Soraka Kench is about setting up Star Spring lethals, but I also think the way in which you go about doing that tends to be pretty straightforward, press a pick.
Take heart. How is
I don't know that I'd classify anything it's doing as weird.
Just like me. With purpose.
I feel better when you feel better.
Oh, I don't require a menu. Let us reconvene.
We're probably dead at this point. Yeah, I think I lost this game the turn I elected to Thermo the Soraka as opposed to using the third Vengeance on it. Is it timer to switch between sitting and standing? Nah, nothing that formal. Just when my legs get tired or not. Yeah, Ken Soraka is high on my ban list for pick being 2. I just don't think it's very fun to play against. Yeah, Elise on 2 or Tech Hit even sounds good. Glimpse is good against their interactive deck. I don't really like openings on it usually. Usually that's the card we want a bit later to filter once we have some filler. Or we know what we're looking for. Afternoon Y Sticks. Yeah, it's a prison deck. I think that's a very accurate estimate. It's a prison deck with an alt win con. That's difficult to interact with. Hopefully the interactability of Star Spring improves. Improves as we get more cards in the next set.
There's nothing to fear.
Probably depends on my lineup. LKR Moose. With an interactive lineup, I'd probably ban Kench.
Hush now.
Lee Sin being pushed to 5 mana definitely made it slower. Yeah, good luck to everybody in NA getting ready to start their gauntlets. Hope to see some of you play and do well this weekend.
Time for the main event.
Beautiful face.
Do I play Ezreal pre-combat or do I just open attacks? I think I'm kind of into just open attacks next turn so they can't like chump wump or play second Draven.
You won't suffer long.
I don't think I'm gonna rush to get Ezreal down. This is a quality glimpse, denies them 2 Ezreal triggers. Like, that Elise made 2 spiders, and they tried to spend 2 cards, but I drew 2 cards. Definitely into just banking spell mana here. Man Piggy, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. You have tri-beamed my spider.
Time for a true display of skill.
Ezreal's about to get flocked here, chat. Triplek, thank you for the 2 months of Prime support. Welcome back. One thing I really hope we see once Runeterra fleshes out their spectator mode, their tournament mode more, is hopefully they have open entry monthly tournaments would be great. I think that's something I would really like to see from them. Just the ability to like sign up for an event on the weekend and play as opposed to having to qualify. I think I'm in a spot that I don't mind playing on Ezreal first here.
Or you'll miss me.
Get our Mystic Shot going. Read.
No way.
Yeah, just more tournaments in general, and hopefully they're able to work it out so third-party people can, like, use their tournament mode. Because, like, if third-party tournaments are a possibility, they'll have a bunch of people making tournaments, no doubt. Let's Aristocrat here first in case they want to attack. Because if they attack, I'll go block, and then this kills this, and this kills this.
I followed you anywhere.
I know just the place.
Michael, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I think that's just it's too difficult to know. The things that impact, like, what drive viewers metrics are pretty unpredictable. Like what the market's going to gravitate towards.
Can't say it wasn't worth it.
I also think that that's true too. Especially from purely anecdotal feedback, I think the fact that Runeterra is cheaper to play than both Hearthstone and Magic means that people are less incentivized to watch it on Twitch because they can just play it. A lot of the people that watch Magic and Hearthstone content are living vicariously through the people that are making content. Whereas, like, in Runeterra, you could just buy the deck and play the deck that you want to play. Really need a Poggers day, huh? I mean, that's not terrible. Play a not Captain Pharaon thing. Play something that dies to pack your bags. Seven mana kill your Elise. Yep, harsh but fair. So I think we're actually a little bit behind right now. They have 3 cards to our none, and our board's not very good. Progress Day drags us right back in, though. Vengeance isn't terrible. This kills a Captain Pharaon, and we're at 15. Rough. Well, welcome to Runeterra, Half Mystic. As someone who's played a lot of card games over the years, including Hearthstone, Runeterra is easily the best core card game experience I've ever played, just in terms of gameplay, and in terms of an online economy, it's second to none. It's just the most accessible online economy you'll ever find.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
This is a game where they actually want you to be able to play the game. It's weird. Fair. I agree too. Like all other things aside, if like all the economies were equal and all the pricing was equal, I think Runeterra is just a better game than both Magic and Hearthstone. But that's subjective, and people feel free to disagree with that. There's a good chance this doesn't go well, but I think I need to try and draw some cards here. Faceless Chicken, thanks for the follow. Yeah, this was... I don't know if there was a whole lot I could do different this game. We mostly just needed to find a progress day. The game match before this we made a mistake, but that one was mostly decided by the fact that I just didn't have a progress day in the top half of my deck. Need to be able to find progress day to be able to snowball card advantage better. So this is a matchup where we're the beatdown, and actually this is kind of a really funny turn. Well, I think I'm gonna keep all these. Yeah, Aledros would have been helpful that game. Just a fourth piece of top end. I agree with that. Let's see how this feels. If this matchup feels like I need more gas, Ledros is definitely a good choice. I think we could reasonably trim the third Zonite Urchin for a piece of top end. I think we want to position ourselves to Progress Day on turn 5.
There's nothing to fear.
They have an Avalanche here. I assume they want to like Avalanche into Vile Feast, kill this. Do I take this pass? I think I'm supposed to do this, right? They don't have Anivia mana this turn. They don't have Harrowing mana. Not that Harrowing does anything. They don't have Ruination mana. Like this seems fine. This archetype playing Glimpse seems so greedy to me. Speaking of, Glimpse is a good draw for us. You have to play Glimpse with Anivia Death Pool, that's fair.
little bird.
A bird of prey hunts alone.
Am I just passing here? These thermo beams kind of suck. I think I'm gonna rummage to start. Summon an exact copy of an ally, except it's ephemeral and it's 1/1. Okay, well, we're gonna Vengeance in response to that.
Rest in ice.
They could have Rekindler here.
One candle for every soul.
So now I get to kill this egg. My next one is a go hard. They're gonna attack. I'll get to block and then glimpse. So this is dealing 1 to all my stuff. So they don't have overwhelm. Blocking means I don't take damage from these.
Strike them down.
I haven't played this matchup before with this deck. Definitely feels like Ledros would be useful here. If one of these Zonites was a Ledros, that would be great. Ooh. Fogger's Day is not bad. Dad's B, thanks for the follow. All right, I mean, if we find the pack your bags here, I get to go pack into Static Shock your 2 eggs.
Anything else?
Mog, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
You can see the Debastian border from here.
Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a trail. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear.
Light the signal fires.
A tribute to the Spider God.
That was the first deck we played this morning, Elfanda. It's real good.
Anything else?
Alright, we've got our second Poggers Day here to gas up again. I mean, we had 4 shots to draw, 4 chances to draw Mystic Shot to kill them, right? Because this would have made Mystic Shot cost 1.
Return to us.
I agree, Precipic. I think Ledros is probably fine.
Was all it took.
Alright, so to wrap up on some Go Ezreal, I think this is probably my favorite deck in the format. It's either this one or Sunny Swain, and they're both sweet in different ways. I think having one more piece of the big takeaway from that set is I think having one more piece of top end is probably fine. If you look at the curve of this deck, it is super duper trim. In general, we've got a little bit of chunkers up here, but these are notably both spells. So like spell mana comes into play with those. So I think we can probably afford a Ledros just to like have a card that stuffs mid-range and control in a box all on its own. And I think the trim for that is probably Zaunite Urchin. I think I want to go to a 2-2 split on these. While I definitely like want units to be able to glimpse. I think we have plenty, and this is a card we often don't want to play early unless we have exactly Jury Rig. I don't know, that could maybe be too low on the unit count. We're at 12. I guess we're at 12 before 2, but this doesn't really count as a unit for that. The unit count is a little bit deceiving in this deck because Jury Rig and Vile Feast are both effectively units, so like we're kind of on 18, and like Elise is units, and we have, you know, things like Progress Day and Static Shock that draw cards. So like this is a deck that conceptually it's hard to visualize at a glance like exactly what it's doing because so much of your curve is cheaper on key turns because of spell mana, and your unit count is deceptive because you have spells that make units. But yeah, if you're looking for a variation of Go Hard from a personal preference perspective, I like this better than the Twisted Fate one because this one's much less all in. The Twisted Fate build really needs to churn through its deck and find Go Hard to win games. And while in some matchups or some games that's the out we're playing to, this deck is very capable of never playing a Pack Your Bags and just like winning by interacting and then flipping Ezreal and killing them. And adding a Ledros at the top end of the curve too is another tool that's really good at doing that, letting us be able to stabilize and win the game when we don't have that. At any rate, thank you everyone for hanging out. That's going to be it for me for this morning. If you're new to the channel, thanks for dropping in. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I stream full-time here. Like I've mentioned, I do Runeterra for about half or more of my stream hours here. I'm usually here most mornings during the week. Tomorrow morning, Saturday, I'll be doing some Runeterra, followed by a sponsored segment for an indie card game called Haxides, having a free weekend, so I'm going to be playing some more of that. I also do various single-player story-driven variety stuff, so we started a Witcher 3 playthrough. I've never played that game before, so this is my first playthrough. We've been doing that on stream. I'll be back tonight, about 5.5 hours from now, with some Witcher. Everybody, good luck if you're playing your Last Chance Gauntlets today. Hey, good gaze, Dasbeam. Good luck in the rest of your laddering today. And yeah, hopefully see you around again soon. Everybody stay safe out there. And remember, if you're new and you want more content from myself, check out my YouTube channel as well. Full stream archives as well as daily